Yeah, I've been playing with him for a few years now on the England team as well.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't give you an inch. He's a very steady player.
Steady Eddie.
Yeah.
Well, that's a fair break. I was talking to this before, and we were on comms yesterday, myself and Chris Mellon, and his break. He says he's been breaking well, and that is a really good break, by the way. But yesterday it wasn't. He was sort of taking he was dipping his leg into as he struck the pack, and for me, he was taking a bit off it. But that was a great break. And against Tom Cousins, you're going to need a good break.
You do, yeah. You got to break well against Tom because you're not going to expect many chances off Tom's break, so you certainly need to make the most of your own breaks.
Funny enough, bizarrely, is Tom Cousins' first couple of matches as well. He's not managed to get to 7 frames. They've gone down to the clock, and he's 165, which had been uncustomary for Top Cat.
Yeah, and you'd say when the matches don't get to 7, you'd imagine they tend to be more scrappy matches. You know, there's probably a few frames in there where players are having multiple shots.
I was on comms last night when you were playing Carl Morris.
Yeah.
Bit unlucky there, buddy.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was unlucky, but I don't really like to make excuses. So, just a bad ending to the match for me, really.
Yeah. Yeah, at one point I thought, you were made favourite by my co-coms all the time as well, and you would, at the middle of the match, I did think that you would have come through, but Carl pops out some incredible shots here and there, and then the 15 seconds of shot stuff kicks in, and it all sort of changes in one of them.
Yeah, that's where it all went wrong for me, really, the 15 seconds of shot, and I'm one of those players where I need just a couple seconds more than others to sort of get down and feel comfortable on the shot, and it's something I'm going to have to work on, really, because I need to decide what shot to play a bit sooner, so I've got that extra couple of seconds to get comfortable, you know, when you get down to the shot. So
or get 3 or 4 frames ahead of your opponent before that. Well, Barker made a mistake. And Cousins could well punish him for it. Like I said, Top Cat, the number 1 player on the tour.
The 8-ball here looks a little bit tricky, but Tom can pot the 2 reds at the top of the table now, and he's going to come down probably the right-hand side of the table. He's going to leave the cue ball for the last ball, probably somewhere near the middle pocket. And if he's got anything near a natural angle on the last red, he should be able to easily run behind the 8-ball, probably for the same pocket in the left corner. So yeah, he's come a little bit far there. He's a little bit thin, but he's looking to screw this now somewhere near where the middle pocket is. I'm not sure he's a little bit thin though.
He's played it very well. That's about where you'd have put it, wouldn't you, Aaron?
Somewhere around there, yeah. I tried to anyway. And this is just now all about how hard he hits the ball.
He just wants to get where his left knee is, if you like, as the angle. And that'll do him. Well, Batman's been sent back to the tower on that frame. Punished to the max by Tom Cousins. And it didn't move the table, leave the table at all. Have another look. Wow. That's one of the few occasions I've seen that, when normally, because of the cue ball, after Tom's broke, it's bouncing around the table, isn't it?
Yeah, and with the break, when the cue ball bounces in the air, I always feel like that's more of a... I don't think that's what the players are trying to do, you know. I feel like it's more of a... You're not contacting the front ball properly if the ball's jumping in the air. That's just my opinion, but...
Is it because of the force that's put behind it?
But yeah, well? It could be the amount of power that's being put into it. That's what happens, but...
This isn't as straightforward as it looks.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to see Eddie try to play for a couple of balls here. Maybe the one to the top left, but he'd like to be on one of these bottom two now.
And he'll take that.
I think if he had the choice, he would like to play the one into the right middle, just because it's his most awkward ball. I'm not sure how tough a pot it is, but if he feels he's going to pot it most of the time, he will be going for it.
Yeah, if he could get straight on the red that's next to him and get rid of those two at the bottom. He didn't want that kiss.
Yeah, I think he might have been playing for the kiss, but maybe to hit the top side of the red.
Well, it's a thin cut into the middle, and the cue ball's going to be clattering into those three yellows on the side. So he's going to be chancing to a bit of luck here. Well, he managed to get him to just only contact the one yellow.
Yeah, and I think that was as played as well. I think he had the right angle there to sort of find that gap round the back. And to be honest, he would have been unlucky if he wasn't on the ball.
No.
Still going to need a good shot here. He's going for the one into the top left, probably cannoning into the other red.
Well, greedy Barker potting both of the same shot, and he'll take that because he's on the black. Down it goes, it's one each.
That's sort of his signature style.
Yeah, he had a great win earlier as well in the 6-red shootout. It's Andrew Patchett.
What were the times in that?
25 point something like 4-8, I think, for Patchett, and about 23 for Gillespie.
It's crazy now with the 6-red shootout how the average time has come down so much. I remember when we first started doing it, we used to think that something around 27, 28 was a good time, whereas now if you post that, you know you're a massive second favourite. Everyone's really improved at the 6-reds.
Well, I don't think Patchett's played it before, the 6-reds.
Yeah, so
there was one little bit, and I was watching from the side, and he broke them off, and then stopped to chalk his cue, and then his first pot he potted into the middle, and the cue ball went off the top rail and back down, and that probably cost him both together probably about 3 or 4 seconds. If you play it all the time, you wouldn't have bothered chalking your cue in the middle of it. After the break. I think because I could hear the commentary from Simon Webb, and he said, "You haven't got time to chalk your cue, Andrew." And then that may be different because after those initial 2 shots, I mean, he knocked him in like lightning. I mean, it was good, you know. But Gillespie, and he did it the other week, Gillespie as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he's used to it, and obviously a great effort from Scott as well. Got himself his place in the last 16. Eddie Barker out, and that yellow wipe its feet.
What he does have now is a perfect angle. Probably looking to cannon into the middle of the black and the red, and that should open all the balls up. Unless he thinks all the balls go and he's going to pick these off instead. This is tricky though. Depends whether the yellow goes to the right centre now. If that goes, it'll make it a lot easier. If not, he's probably going to have to screw somewhere around the centre of the table. But it must go to the right centre.
He's having a look. Must go through this little gap then.
Yeah, I think it does go to the centre because he was having a look then. It was probably a bit more of a straightforward finish than it looked on the camera because there's a couple of balls went where I wasn't quite sure if they did.
Well, it obviously goes because you wouldn't have played to be there if it didn't. Very, very nice from Eddie Barker. Well, after his first little hiccup in the opening frame, he's been pretty good since then. And now he leads Tom Cousins 2 frames to 1. And there we are, see, cue ball's come off the table a little bit and he's made a ball.
Yeah, and I think the difference with the first break was there's definitely a little bit more power in that one. And maybe that's when you see the white jump in the air. Well,
he's going to be having a pop at these yellows. First ball, though, it's going to be a cut into the middle right hand as we look at it. He's like an easier starter ball.
Yeah, and he's possibly looking at the red here, off the cushion, off the yellow into the top right corner.
Well spotted. Yeah, indeed he was.
Red ball's in play.
And look at that. Liked a bit of thicker contact with that yellow when he kissed into it with Tom, and he'd rather been on that one at the top of the table now, Aaron, wouldn't he?
He would, yeah, and where he's come here, the 2 reds in the middle of the table has probably landed a little bit awkward on these as well because he's a little bit thin on both balls, and with the white being near the rail now, he needs really to do something with the cue ball.
And sensibly, he's come forward. He's going to play the red into the other corner pocket.
Probably going to see him leave the one in the bark end till last now because the 8 ball does go to left corner, and if he was to play the ball in bark next, it's going to be a tricky shot to sort of get a nice angle on the one on his last ball, which would be the bottom left. So probably see him leave that as last ball now.
Pretty close there. Just going to try and pot this red and guide the cue ball off the top rail and through the gap of those 2 yellows and onto the side rail over the left hand side. That looks pretty good. Lovely shot there from Cousins. You knew his route, didn't you, Aaron?
Well, it's certainly not the route he wanted to go, but yeah.
There he down goes the black, and Cousins levels the match. See, if he was sat with Ronan now, you know what Ronan would say. He said he's still useless now.
Yeah, he would, yeah.
They do like to wind each other up, the lads from Northern Ireland, bless them. Look at that for a break.
Yeah, Eddie's hitting it really well, and this is a brilliant opportunity.
Yeah, what's happened? Well, we've either got a gremlin in the clock, we're having a VAR check on something, I don't know. No, we're okay. So Eddie Barker returns after his Sledgehammer break. Well, he tried to drag into that red ball, and he played it very softly there, didn't pinch the cue ball back. And now he's landed in a bit of a sticky position, Aaron.
Yeah, and to be honest, I wasn't sure if the black went if he went yellows, but from that camera angle, the black does go past the red, so I'm a little bit surprised he didn't go for yellows there.
Well, that's not what he wanted to do. Completely lost the cue ball there. Well, the first thing we're going to see is Tom Cousins look to check that black goes past the red, which, like you say, it looks like it does. He sort of arced into the he didn't dig in enough, and then it sort of just arced into the corner.
Yeah, I think what he was looking to do was pot that a little bit thicker. I think he's potted it in the centre of the pocket, and that, if he pots it a little bit thicker, he probably avoids it enough. But
that nightmare was born from the shot before, and maybe, like you said, maybe from not taking the yellows. I must admit, as I glanced at them, I thought yellows immediately after the break. But then I thought, well, reds are okay as well. You know, it's one of those where you can make a case for both balls.
Yeah, and the other reason was because the first shot on the reds is a really tough shot on these cloths, where the cloths are very reactive, and what he was trying to do was a little stun run shot into the other red, and it's a tough one to judge on a really fast cloth.
Yeah, very true, Aaron. And this looks formality stuff for Tom Cousins. I wonder if Eddie's sitting there thinking, why didn't I take yellows? Sort of just strolls around the table, Tom, doesn't he? Just, you know, it's like an elegant stroll.
It is, and when you're playing him, you sort of think, how does he look so relaxed? It's sort of intimidating, because you think, I'm sat here nervous, stressing out, and he's just like walking around as if he's just practicing. Yeah, it's mad. He's moved the cue ball to the other side as well.
He has.
Even though he potted a ball for the last break.
Ooh. Timeout. Cue ball close to the pocket. That's gone in, but it's going to come back up.
And you know, I think he's moved the cue ball to there because that's where Eddie's breaking from. And possibly he's seen Eddie's breaking well from there and thought, I'll give that a go.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
Interesting. And the black's just been respotted to its original home, and Tom will continue at the table because he did make the yellow off the break, which you can see in the bottom of the table there, look, underneath the score. It's proof.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Well, I think it will be yellows that Tom takes as well. What you really can't afford to do is let this man get too far ahead, because there's a front runner, and there's certain players that are front runners. Melling's one, certainly Tom Cousins. You know, some that can battle back, and they don't mind being a couple behind in this area, but this is just. I don't think I can remember any times when he's been a few frames in front of somebody's come back and
definitely,
beaten him.
Yeah.
You know, we've had one today, Connor Tracy's 5-1 up against Jez Graham, and Jez come back 1-7-5 out of nowhere, and he wasn't even in the game. You know, you do get a few, because his wheels don't ever come off.
No, they don't.
You know, you know yourself, you know, as being a professional pool player, you know, there's certain players, you know, I'm not going to say name names, but there are players that you would sit there and think, you know, you could be 2 or 3 down and you think, I'm still in this game, I'm not worried, because you know that they maybe have a trigger switch inside their heads that they can lose the plot quite easily, and things can sort of agitate them. But this isn't one of them. Not this man. But then you don't get that animated out there, do you? To be fair, and you keep yourself very composed. I've noticed.
Yeah, the reason I don't tend to show many emotions is because I feel like if I do, it just gets my adrenaline going too much, and then I feel like I start shaking a bit on a shot. Right. So that's why I try and keep things relaxed. Whereas some players play better when they get a bit more animated. So, but for me, it doesn't work.
Well, you were playing one of the most animated players of all time yesterday with Carl. Lovely control there from Cousins. Now then, is he going in or is he playing a double? He's got to play the double, surely.
Yeah, I think the cannon is a little bit tricky, and it's not guaranteed to land on the 8.
No, you can have stuck to it behind the red. You could all sorts. So I think I'll just make sure I give myself a shot. Well, how'd you like that?
I think he's all right.
He's brilliant.
And he's played that stretching as well, which made it even harder to hit the cue ball where he wanted to. Yeah,
naughty shot that. We were both playing doubles and Tom's knocking it out.
Oh, definitely, yeah. A 16 shirt tournament, and there was, the players' shirts. So they picked the best 16 shirts, and they did a little tournament. And I think Eddie, I don't know if he won, but his shirt got to the final, I think.
His shirt got to the final?
Yeah, his shirt got to the final.
Oh, my God.
And people were voting, on each match which shirt was better.
Yeah. That'd be great, wouldn't it? You list that one of your achievements. Yeah, my shirt got to the final. I was beating the last 32. However, my pair of shoes got to the semi.
But I think Tom's shirt was one of the ones up there as well, and Brian Howcroy, his shirt was up there.
You want sunglasses to look at Brian Howcroy. What about Danger Mouse? He must have been up there somewhere.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Listen, we're talking about loud shirts. Wow. And it's going to be the long red now for Cousins down the rail. Smoothly dispatched into that corner.
Looks tight whether the red goes into the top left.
Yeah, he's been given that extra attention in the last minute or so. Just keeps having a little glance at it, almost as if he's double checking, treble checking.
Yeah, and it's one of those he's going to want to be good on, because if he's got any angle, well, he hasn't gone enough, has he?
Ooh.
Yeah, because even if it does go, when you're sort of playing it at an angle, the yellow it gets in your eye line, and it can make the shot a little bit tougher.
So what happened to your shirt then in the shirt competition?
Fortunately, it didn't get entered.
Didn't make the cut?
Didn't make it, no.
The old cyborg, wasn't there? Not having that. I want to lodge an official complaint for steward's inquiry. Right, we're going to see now whether this red passes into this corner. Frame ball if it goes. Bags of room. Now then, do you screw down to the bottom rail, Aaron?
Yeah, I think he's too much angled to do anything else. I think so. Just find the path between the yellow and the 8 ball.
He's not happy with that. Want to come a bit further. He's rubbing into the yellow. He wanted to just be below it so he could just pop the cue ball away from that yellow to leave a dead straight black into the middle.
Yeah, maybe just having a little bit of a Phil Harrison moment there, because I don't think it was too much of a bad shot.
Yeah, but I mean, you say that, well, it's not a bad shot, but if you're right behind this with your hand on the table, it's a far easier shot than cueing across that cushion. Not that he was ever going to miss it, and he's right in the middle of the pocket, but...
Yeah, we can see Tom breaking from the left-hand side again, and I'm pretty sure it's because it's where Eddie's breaking from, and he's had a bit of success from there.
Well, that cue ball has been bouncing around near those corners all match, to be fair. It's been in and around those areas. So I do think it's a matter of time and something's going to come up there and collide and knock that ball into the corner. Barker, you feel now has to go into no miss mode. No more mistakes, no more dry breaks. So you'll be at the World Championships with England then, Aaron?
Yeah, we'll be. Thinking the men's team might be my 5th or 6th playing in the team.
Obviously that's to be a tough one then for England this year.
Yeah, it's getting harder every year now, because I know sort of 5-10 years ago we was always massive favourites to win the event.
But the England sides I played against, it was, well, they were nearly impossible to beat.
Yeah, I remember those teams from about 20 years ago. Yeah, I've seen some of that.
So I have nightmares about them.
But yeah, we've obviously still got a good team, but the other teams are getting a lot better. I know Northern Ireland are starting to get the players playing that you would want to play, and some of the other countries improving as well. Like Malta have got some junior players that have come through, and they're like some of the best players in Malta now. So yeah, it's getting quite difficult to win.
Indeed it should be as well. Of course he's back here in Blackpool in June, straight after Pro Events 5 and 6. Now Barker, just these 2 balls to knock in, just to keep himself in and around this match. Bring it back to 5-3, give Tom something to think about, and he also gets to break the next frame, so you won't want to follow off from Tom and not get it off the break.
Does need to hurry up here as well, because there's not much time left.
Down goes the black. 1 back for Barker. Another good break there from Barker. And this one looks reasonably inviting. Can tell you Alf and Dad's leveled the match on table 3 with Declan Brennan at 5 apiece. The match still locked at 4-all as well, so be some very dramatic late finishes in those 2 matches, I would imagine. They're of course on the other Ultimate Pool channels. Didn't want that angle really.
Yeah, I would have loved to be the other side of the yellow and just come straight down the table. Now going to have to use 1, maybe 2 cushions to try and get back round and avoid the reds. He's also got the problem of the yellow nearest to the centre of the table. Where's he going to pot that ball? Trying to get in it now, I think. If he'd have got a cannon on one of the reds there, he might have been on that.
Could he play the yellow that's in the middle of the table off the 2 reds in here, that middle, off the far red into that middle, bring the cue ball down at the bottom of the table behind the black? I know it's a bit of a, I'm reaching here, but being as he's landed in a bit of a sticky position, I know he's going to probably play just to cut this one down the left-hand corner, but the cue ball looks like it might go into that red, and I don't think this could go wrong.
The red, now that he cannons, could go near the yellow. That might be the problem here. I think that's why he played it with a bit more pace.
He's got away with that one, that double kiss. That's helped him.
Yeah, if he'd have played that softer there, which he'd have liked to, I think the red he was cannoning would have come off the cushion and gone towards the yellow, which is in the middle of the table. Probably got in the way.
Big shot here for Barker. Uh-oh, he's gone behind the black. Made the pot. Wasn't easy to get on that yellow, just come too far. You just want to leave himself just above it, and it's gone a bit nasty now for Eddie Barker.
Could go close here though after 2 cushions. I expect it to go close. Just too much side on it.
Well, he hands the table to Tom Cousins, and not only that, the yellow's safe at the bottom of the table as well, so it does give Tom an element of a cushion of safety, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, with the yellow going there on the cushion, it just takes the pressure off the finish now, you know. Obviously he's got the 1 bad red on the right hand side. If that yellow was sort of over a pocket, puts a little bit more pressure on potting that ball, but like I said, now it's on the rail, it takes the pressure away.
So I fancy him to be playing the red ball that's on the right hand cushion very shortly. And it'll be next. Just dropped in, red in the middle, red down at the bottom left. Last one dispatched where he's stretching across, black in the corner. And he'll be on the hill, 1 away from the quarter final. And is there anyone out there to stop him? If he was to go on and win it, it'd be our third. Well, we're going to be our third different Pro Series winner of the 3 events this season, because John McAllister and Luke Gilbert have won the first 2. But Cousins pretty much always at the business end of these tournaments. He'd like to come back a bit further there, Aaron, wouldn't he? Just so he could roll down and just leave it straight behind. Black ball. The only good thing about this, though, is he can play this cut and get the cue ball at the top of the table, so should he just hang it over the jaw, the white's going to be right up the bulk end.
Yeah.
Not that he was going to miss it, but he's ran round the table like he was training for the 100 metres Olympics. Having a look at Tom's break, which has gone dry. Batman is going to have to find some fast shooting now to stop him being sent back to the bat cave till the next tournament. Playing a containing one there, nothing really on for him. Wanted the yellows obviously because they're just all parked in the middle of the table. Like a join the dots thing.
Yeah, both players are looking to go yellows here. If Tom decides he's no choice but to sort of leave some sort of ball, he'd rather he leaves a red than a yellow.
And only that Barker playing every shot like it could be his last. Ooh. Well, great pot there from Cousins. But he just knocked that yellow far enough behind the red that he might have to move it. Not sure if he can get over to the side. I think he could probably get, if he gets perfect on it, he could probably slide that in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it'd be tough to get on that yellow, I think. Probably looking to move it, I think. Maybe try and just nudge the 8 ball out now. But I think that's tied the other one up. I think Eddie will be quite happy in his chair now. I'm probably feeling he's going to get another go at the table.
Those are the times when it comes and bites you on the backside, when you think I'm going to get another go at the table, and then somebody pulls out a ridiculous shot and you think, well, that's the end of me then. Cousins just looks like a man on a mission now. Well, this is where you're going to see if he just slides over to this side of the table. I was going to say he won't have to move it, but so I was about to say then he has had to move it.
I think this has landed quite nice because I think he can cannon into the red next to the yellow, and that will open it up into the right corner. And even if he doesn't land on it this shot, he can easily come down for the other one first and then back up.
Yeah, so he played a cut into the centre. As long as he doesn't hit the red half ball and sail over behind the other two over there. Ooh.
Mustn't have quite had the right angle, and it's meant he's had to put a little bit of stun on it, meaning he's hitting it a lot harder, so was relying on a little bit of luck there.
He's having a good look to see if this yellow passes that red into that top left-hand corner. That looks very tight.
And even if he was to cover the pocket here, it's of no value to him really, because Eddie can just play a loss of turn shot. And what a shot that is.
Wow. Perfect.
But what a pot though,
Yeah.
the amount of left-hand side he played that with as well.
Well, the thing is, because the clock was coming down towards zero, he just had to throw his arm at it, so he didn't really have any time or chance to judge how hard he was hitting that. Hence being there. Make sure to, try and get the pot in. Cross double.
Yeah,
Load of top. Easy this game.
Oh,
wow.
What a finish this is. Like I was saying, Eddie will be expecting to come back to the table.
I know, yeah. This for the match for Cousins. What a finish from Top Cat. Cousins defeats Barker 7-3, and what a finish at the end. That was incredible.